This is the new HP Pavilion x360 14-inch laptop, including the 12th generation Intel Core i3-1215U. This notebook has a lot of power, but also a few problems you should know about. This laptop has plenty of ports with an HDMI out, USB-C port for charging or peripherals, and a 3.5mm headphone jack. On the right side is a charging port which can quick charge the computer in 45 minutes to 50%, 2 USB-A ports, and a micro SD card reader. The chassis comes in this great space blue color. It has a decent keyboard and trackpad, but the overall package weighs 3.35 pounds. Inside this computer is a 12th gen Intel Core i3-1215U with 6 cores and 8 threads, 8GB of RAM, and 256GB of SSD storage. The Geekbench score was solid for this mid-range computer at $1395 for single core and $4867 for multi-core. Using this x360 with the new Intel Core i3-1215U, it seemed to be punching way above its weight. It is super quick and snappy with opening apps, browsing the web, streaming 4K videos. Everything it did just seemed really smooth and snappy for this mid-range chip. I was going through opening different apps, different websites, a lot of media content just loaded really quickly and smoothly, scrolling up and down. It didn't seem to have any problem multitasking, going through different tabs back and forth, and seemed like an overall really impressive performer as far as what it should do in a mid-range notebook. The display is also really impressive on this machine. It's a 1920 by 1080 IPS display. It gets up to 250 nits, so it's not the brightest, but it does have really good, deep, dark, saturated colors for consuming content. And it was just a blast to watch things on this, work on this computer, because the display is so nice. As an x360 machine, you can orient this computer in different ways. This is a tent mode where you can prop it up to watch content, and it can also fold flat back on itself to use as a tablet, and the touchscreen was really responsive for moving content around, clicking on things, and it was overall really nice experience for this type of machine. The graphics solution in this machine is integrated. It's Intel UHD, so it doesn't have a dedicated graphics processor. And we downloaded a copy of CSGO off Steam, and the results were unimpressive. It gets about 30 to 40 frames per second, and it's generally not too playable. You would obviously need something 60 FPS and above to play this, and it was hovering in the 40s. It was mediocre. It wasn't a great experience. While this computer does perform well with productivity and media content, we noticed that the fans kick up really quickly as soon as you start streaming or downloading anything, and this is what it sounds like. Now, as you can hear, the fans kick up pretty loud, and this was consistent with our general usage of the computer. Despite the fast performance, there is some general build quality issues that may be affected with this unit, as you can hear with this fan noise we encountered. As you can hear, this noise sounds awful, and it didn't end until we stopped all of our streaming and downloading and generally all usage of the computer. The overall experience with this HP Pavilion x360 is mixed. It has great performance with this Intel Core i3-1215U. It has a great display for working on and consuming content, but the fan issues kicking up all the time and the battery life, which was a concern, it only lasted 3 hours in our mixed usage. So keep that in mind before you purchase this unit, and for more news and reviews, head to news.punchjump.com.